Hey guys, this is a cheat gainer tutorial, not just for ice skaters. As usual, let's see how to learn the trick off ice first, and then what to change to throw it on the ice. Cheat gainer is a weird one. Doing a very basic version does not require much time, but reaching a horizontal level, then getting inverted will be difficult. The problem is that you need to use all the angles to rotate around. First you go forward, then spin because of the blocking, then pitch up and roll left. Isn't that beautiful? On top of that you need a very precise sync between your kicking leg and arms. If you can pull out these from your muscle memory, only then it will be easy. The most important key point probably would be to gain height. Off ice there is blocking you can utilize. On ice, only the arm-leg sync will help you, but details soon. Since there are a lot of things going on, changing parts of the trick will result in a different outcome. It's awesome that people accepted all variations instead of saying that the cheat gainer can only be done in one way. Respect for this. How do you approach this trick? There are a whole bunch of builds you can use to start your cheat gainer, as shown. I'm going to detail the J step, as it's a good one to learn first. I highly recommend using guidelines, because you can get lost quicker than you think. In the J-step build, your goal is to arrive into a roughly 90 degrees position from your initial direction when you jump up. The reason is so-called blocking. Off ice, you can utilize this to gain height. What this does is basically you can transform your forwards momentum into upwards. By the way, this applies to all flip tricks. Your blocking is good when you have a good amount of initial speed and you place your foot in an angle like this, so in front of your weight. The way I learned the J-step is the following. Stand. Take a small step with your left leg and place it in front of the right. I'm pretty sure the position here is just personal preference, but everything after this has to be done in the exact same way, at least for the legs. Staying at the legs, I take a bigger step with my right leg to the right, then both my hips and my left leg arrive into the final position for the blocking. Another angle, just focus on the legs now. The last step should be a low step, not a jump. Arms. Only the synchronization is important at the end, but here is everything I do. During the first step I cross them. Second step, this way, my left stays there. Right goes to the back. Third step, the important one for the arms. They all go to the back, because from this point they will stay in sync with the kicking leg. When you're done going upwards, you can do whatever you want with your arms. It's a good idea to grab your knees or shins, then they at least stay up. Tips and mistakes are coming from my progression. Watch out for the correct direction of the jump. Use the guides. Don't travel so you can maximize the height. Maybe jump a little bit backwards. What happens if you miss it? Look how much my hips are going forward in this clip. Obviously, a low jump is the result. Sideways travel is the same, at least I got out of this one. Here is one that stays in place. This leg kicks to the other shoulder. Now let's see some progression videos. One of my first ones. Unnecessary twist. The setup I used to understand the movement. Finally, understood how to land. Added some height, but the movement didn't change here. And this is the level I was stuck at for a very long time. This is almost good, but one minor thing is missing, so let's talk about how to convert it from horizontal to inverted. If you don't get stuck at the build like I do here, so basically you block at the right moment, at the last step, you will automatically rotate around. The problem is that your cheat gainer won't be better with more power. In contrast, the butterfly, for example, will be better because of the nature of the motion, but a cheat gainer with more power equals over rotation. You have to adjust the tilt to match the jump height for a good landing. And guess what happens when you tilt for a high jump but still do a low one? 3 key takeaways once again. Watch for the sync, height, and practice the build, especially the blocking. Before moving to the ice, try two more things. Do a very slow build. Try to eliminate the need for the blocking. Even though the steps are slow, the jump is still powerful. Try the Frisbee style. Tuck after gaining the necessary height. It splits the jump into two phases a little bit because first you mostly travel up, then squeeze and quickly do the rotation part. Ice. Let's start with the builds. I've seen quite a couple, but all builds come down just to two base variations. Any other movement is extra on top of these. One is when you counter rotate during your setup, the other is when you keep the rotation. A third one could be if you just went for it without any rotation, not advised because of the forward momentum. More about that in a second. I prefer the one with the counter rotation because of two reasons. Firstly, it automatically cancels your forward momentum. This is good because forward momentum would be a drawback since there is no blocking on ice. Secondly, with this I automatically arrive in the correct body position for the jump. Let's see these two in more details. The mistake of having too much forward momentum. I literally have an endless amount of videos from this mistake. Your jumping leg should be almost directly below you when jumping. The cheat gainer does not require much speed, so if you choose another build, you have to do it very slowly. As you can see, even this was too fast. This leg inherited a lot of momentum, kicked too much sideways instead of upwards. The optimal case is when you land very close to the jumping spot. Now details about the correct position. Your body looks forward along with the jumping leg. The hip is perpendicular to the kicking leg and will stay that way during the takeoff. The arms are behind along with the kicking leg. Now depending on your build you might be more or less twisted before the jump. Emil sent me a couple of his jumps for this tutorial, and what I discovered and implemented in my build as well is that he isn't stepping forward to initiate the jump, rather towards the center of this circle. When I was staying on the curve with my step, I ended up traveling during the jump, which we are trying to eliminate. While with this method, I slowed the movement further. Since there is no blocking, try traveling upwards with a powerful jump. Tuck for a faster rotation. The Frisbee style fits all the needs for a successful cheat gainer ice, so I advise practicing that too, although the Frisbee will never be that vertical by the nature of it. However, it will be higher, and that's an advantage, because there is one more thing. Placing down your hand at the end is very convenient if you want to get away with a low jump, and maybe it's an automatic reflex as well. But technically, it's possible to land without using that hand if you're efficient at getting height and rotation speed. So keep that in mind, though from inside this feels exactly the same. If you're sure your jump is high and you still have to touch the ground, it's probably because of a misoriented jump. Congratulations, you reached the end of this video. Special congratulations if you can guess what I will say next. Yes, you need time to learn this. I get it if you want to learn this tomorrow, but let me tell you something promising. This trick, I enjoy doing it more on grass than on ice. If it's too challenging, there is a similar one with less rotation, and that is the butterfly. I might redo that tutorial later. See you guys later, have a nice icy day.